India, together with the state governments, seen which are the districts to which they largely have returned. The slide presentation, which will be presented by Shri Amardeep Sinha, the Secretary Rural Development, will actually get into the details of which are those districts to which Shramik in large numbers have returned. We are able to say approximately 116 districts have received big numbers of them. The exact numbers and other things will be shared. 116 districts. They are spread over 6 states in all. Not to say that there may not be others going to other states, but largely the 116 districts that we have identified have received large number of them, substantial number of them. And those 116 districts are spread over 6 states. The details will be given during the slide presentation. Now, in those districts, both state and the central government have very meticulously mapped the skills of these people, skill sets, whether they are totally unskilled or partly skilled, largely those who have worked in construction and such areas in urban centers where they were, and so on. So they have reached some mapping of their skill sets have been done. Now, what this Abhiyan, which the Prime Minister will be launching from the Khagaria district in Bihar on 20th, will do is now within 125 days. Nearly 25 schemes of the government are all going to be brought together. And within those 125 days, we shall reach saturation levels for each of those schemes. So if it was a Jal Jeevan Mission, or if it was anything to do with, laying of Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, or building Awas Yojana, and so on. Awas Yojana, which gives houses for the poor, but if there are activities related to that, which requires labor component, they will also be brought. Like that, there are 25 works of Government of India, in which all the 25 being brought together for those districts where we have identified this number of Shramik who have gone back. Everyone who needs the assignment will be given the jobs, and under the 25 different works, the objectives which have to be achieved will be achieved using the Shramik who are there having returned from different parts of the country. The monies which have been allotted to these projects, budgeted amounts, and if necessary anything more, will all be added together. At the moment, broad total that I can disclose to you all, it's about 50,000 crores. We are pooling all these from the 25 different projects, bringing it together so that at the district level, in these 116 districts, for those 25 projects, Shramik who have returned will all be used to complete those projects within this 125 days. There are some which are going to get affected by monsoon, such as laying of roads, which may extend further. There are some which are post-monsoon activities, which may also continue after that. But largely, on a broad indicator, we want to front-load the monies allotted for these 25 different works for those 116 districts, some of whom are aspirational districts, and ensure that all those Shramik in those districts are going to be given employment. And therefore, for them, for the next 4 months, we are clearly showing a direction through which their skills, their man days, person days will be used so that assets will be created in those districts, whether it is digging of wells, poultry sheds, or laying of Gram Sadak Yojana roads, or building some panchayat, buildings. Like for instance, yesterday, we had announced from the Finance Ministry that we've released the 15th Finance Commission recommended monies for the local bodies. So with all those monies going to the villages now, with these Shramik being used for activities, concrete activities through which assets can be created, Shramik get their work, their livelihood is ensured. Asset creating activities at the district level, considering that many of them are aspirational districts. The objective of rural development will also get fulfilled. And I'm glad to say, to recall, that in our budget and also during the announcement, during Atmanirbhar Abhiyan announcements, we had come up with the viability gap funding for building agriculture-related infrastructure, for ensuring that those farmer-producer organizations will go into the villages to create agri-processing units. Now all of them are being brought together so that there's a synergy. Monies are being pulled in towards asset creation with a time limit given, and Shramik can be sure that where they have gone back, they have work given to them. This is a broad picture. I won't take too much of time to start my intervention. I request the Secretary, Rural Development, to show you the details of what exactly this is, how it's going to pan out. Post that, of course, we are ready for your questions. Thank you.
Clearly articulating the philosophy behind the Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan, which aims at providing meaningful livelihoods to the migrant workers who have gone back to the districts of their origin, as well as those who are there and similarly affected. So I'll provide the necessary detail because Madam has already very clearly articulated the philosophy and overall context in which the Abhiyan is to work. Madam, before I begin, I should also add that during this period after the pandemic and after the lockdowns were announced, our Gram Panchayats and our SHGs have done wonderful work, ma'am, and I should say some statistics which will illuminate the kind of work that they have done. SHGs have made about 16 crore masks, madam, which have provided to the corona warriors by the different states. They have made lakhs of liters of sanitizers and hand wash, and they have run about 10,000 community kitchens. So very good work they have been done, and similarly our Gram Panchayats have also been at the forefront of fighting corona. They have set up quarantine centers, they have enforced the health ministry advisories. So with all this background and with all the kind of the administrative and Panchayati Raj machinery there and them all working together, we are confident that this Abhiyan would be in a position to cater to the needs of employment and jobs, and thereby also lay the foundation for a more prosperous work later on. So the Abhiyan is of a duration of about 125 days.
டெல்லியில் மத்திய நிதியமைச்சர் நிர்மலா சீதாராமன் செய்தியாளர்களை சந்தித்தார். அப்போது 6 மாநிலங்களில் உள்ள 116 மாவட்டங்களில் புலம்பெயர் தொழிலாளர்களின் எண்ணிக்கை அதிகமாக உள்ளதாக அவர் குறிப்பிட்டார். அதேபோல சொந்த ஊர் திரும்பிய புலம்பெயர் தொழிலாளர்களுக்கு ஊரக வேலைவாய்ப்பு திட்டத்தில் பணி வழங்கப்படும் என்றும் அவர் தெரிவித்திருக்கிறார். விரிவான தகவல்களை பின்னர் பார்க்கலாம்.